Hey, welcome to another episode of. I need to fix my little angle really quick. Welcome to another episode of
The hot
Seat
pod.
presented to you by Playbook Sports. I'm Anthony. Across the table, across the jersey, across the pond, I got my boy Wilson Wang.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Doing good, man. How are you, man?
I'm doing good.
Ready to talk some ball. Ready to talk some mock drafts. You know,
I'm ready to talk about a lot of things.
yeah, a lot of things.
I'm doing great.
Yeah,
I'm doing tremendous.
tremendous. Yeah, you're a little too happy right now.
You dig?
Come
Come on, man. Stephon Diggs, Houston Texan. Some are saying this is the biggest free agency move of all time.
dude. Honestly, like, I'm not opposing to that.
Really?
It's
I was
been-
bullshitting.
Huh?
I was bullshitting.
I wouldn't oppose to that, honestly, dude. There's been so much that's been happening, and it's not even over yet. So
You thought it was over?
thought it was over.
We still got Ayuk. We still got T. I'm going
Yeah.
to talk about the Bills side first. Get it out the fucking way. They fucked up, bro. I'm sorry. Josh Allen might need to look somewhere else, bro. Like, we said that the Chiefs receiving core was bad last year. The Bills receiving core is probably like half of what the Chiefs was last year.
Yeah, the wide receiver one they got is Curtis Samuel.
Bro,
Dude was like a wide receiver 3 in Washington.
it's Curtis Samuel, Khalil Shakir, and Mac Hollins.
Dude,
That's their big three right now.
that's pretty trash. That's a trash 3.
Bro, Dalton Kincaid is going to go for like 2,000 yards next year, bro.
Donkey K about to come out as Travis Kelce.
They're about to move Dawson Knox to receiver.
Dude,
They have KJ Hamler. Broncos legend.
that guy's. I don't know, man. I don't know if he still got it, but I hope he does.
That's your go.
Isaiah McKenzie, is he still on the Bills? I think so, right?
I don't think so.
No. Oh, okay. Never mind.
Now they got Justin Shorter, Andy Isabella, KJ Hamler, Terrell Shavers, and Brian Thompson.
Yeah, that's
sad, but you know it's not
pretty
sad. We talked about this earlier, but like Tank Dell's a B tier receiver, right?
Yeah.
That being our worst receiver is ridiculous.
Dude, this is like pretty similar to like when the Bengals had Chase, Higgins, and Tyler Boyd. I feel like who what would you say is a better trio?
I was about to say I think we're better.
You think you're better?
I think
At their best season though.
I know that's what I'm trying to compare it to. Like
Yeah.
not last season, obviously.
Yeah. Dude,
well,
I don't know, man. I feel like
okay, this is my thing. I think Jamar at his best was better than Diggs is going to be next year. But I think Nico and Tank, and everyone's going to say you're underrating T. I know T. Higgins is fucking good at football. I think Nico and Tank are better than what T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd are.
at their best season though.
Yeah, I think so.
Dude, I don't know. I don't know if I could say that.
We were
I
hurt
think-
all last year.
Huh?
We were hurt all. Tank Dell could be a wide receiver 1 on a team.
Wide receiver 1.
Tyler Boyd can't do that.
He was a wide receiver 1 at one point in Cincinnati.
I'm saying like at this point in his career, even at their best.
Dude, I don't know, man. I feel like it's close, but I would still take Cincinnati, man. I feel like that's such a good trio.
Fuck you. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's not a good trio though.
Yeah.
Bro, Tyler Boyd has exactly 6,000 yards on his career.
Wow.
That's
Just
pretty
perfect.
crazy. He should retire.
Yeah, just retire at that.
He might get 6,000 yards next season the way that they're when they lose T. Higgins. Run it up.
No, for sure, for sure.
Um,
It's kind of interesting though. Like just going back to the trade. So they sent Diggs, as well as I believe a 4th and a 5th for a second round pick.
yeah, and not even this year second.
Yeah, next year second. But honestly, like for that pick, like a lot of people like when it comes down to like trading for like star receivers or like star players for like a third or like like a fourth round pick, you gotta remember like when it comes to drafts, there's so many good players for so many teams that like a second round pick, that's like a top 50 player in the country.
Yeah,
at,
that's true.
at football. So I feel like getting a second for Stephon Diggs at his time of his career is honestly not a bad trade. I mean, when you look at DeAndre Hopkins when he got traded, he got traded for like a fourth round pick,
Yeah,
like
they
a
got
fifth
traded
round
for
pick.
dirt for nothing.
Yeah,
And Hopkins was better than what Diggs was last year.
yeah, exactly. So I mean, I feel like I don't think it's as bad as like people would be saying like it is for the Bills right now. So
And I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm an expert, but looking at next year's draft, the 2025 draft, if the Bills could draft Jimmy Horn, who's Colorado's wide receiver right now, like pretty much their wide receiver one,
yeah,
Wishard or Sanders, like that could make up for it. And you got to remember, Stephon Diggs is like 30, 31. He's not going to be at A level, B level receiver much longer.
yeah, it's like an age where like you start to see receivers regress.
Yes.
So,
And we've already seen Stephon Diggs regress.
yeah.
From this year to compared to 2 years ago, even compare that to 2 years ago, it's kind of been all regression for Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
But we're here for the draft. Well, let me actually hold up real quick. I didn't get to like toot my horn a little bit or nothing, you know.
I know, man. I feel like it hasn't really hit you,
Yeah, the thing I do like about this trade is like Stephon Diggs at his best is a top 3, top 5 receiver in the NFL.
Yeah.
Stephon Diggs at his worst disappears, but he could do that in Houston. He could disappear in Houston because we have Tank Dell, because we have Nico Collins, because we have Dalton Schultz still locked down.
Dalton Schultz.
We got dudes to make it easy on him. We have Joe Mixon, and I was going to say something crazy. I'm not going to say that. But C.J. Stroud's an accurate quarterback,
Uh-huh.
He don't miss. So if Stephon Diggs is open, he's not going to get missed,
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
What were you gonna say, man?
That's all I'm going to say. I said that's all I'm going to say. That's it.
All right.
We can move on.
All right.
NFL draft. So me and Will both put together our mock drafts. You're going to see Wilson's on the screen first, probably now. And we're just going to go through pick by pick, not pick by pick, but kind of talk about the keys. What are you most proud of in this draft? Like, what do you feel good?
So, I mean, when I did this mock draft, I took a look at, obviously the overall players, what they're worth, and also looked at, the team fits, what they really needed. And, obviously there's always going to be news day by day when it comes to what they're looking to draft.
Mm-hmm.
And I think at the end, it all just comes down to the basics. I think it just comes down to, what they were trying to go at the first thing, at the draft, And I see a lot of mock drafts, and I feel like now a lot of people are just, like, putting into the perspective that, like, putting into the perspective, like, crazy situations, And I just
Are you dissing me?
Huh?
Are you dissing me?
No. I mean, honestly, like, yours makes sense. Like, it makes sense. Like, it look like it still fits, like, the team's needs and, the player's worth.
Uh-huh.
But I feel like mine is probably the most, like, general that you'd see.
Like realistic, kind of.
Yeah, realistic without any trades.
All right,
so.
yeah, that's another thing. We did do no trades. There's definitely going to be trades on draft day. I think
Yeah.
you guys might move up. The Vikings will probably move up. But yeah, I think trades definitely could happen. I didn't want to do trades because I feel like it kind of makes it like.
Yeah, it could go in like a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be complicated. So we kind of just like labeled it as like hey, these are probably like the players that fit the most at their pick for the teams. So
yeah, I'll go with some of the notes I had. Bo Nix to the Broncos.
Yeah,
it's
honestly. So these are picks that I like. I honestly don't really. I'd rather have Penix. Let's just say that. But I feel like they're gonna pick Bo Nix when it comes to that situation.
Okay.
If it's either Nix or Penix, they're gonna pick Nix.
Really?
Yeah. I have a feeling. I have a feeling Sean Payne has some leverage onto it. I feel like he likes Nix as well as the GM.
You think you guys will trade back for Knicks then?
Potentially. I feel like we're kind of at like a weird position at pick 12.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like trading back could help because I don't really see like any other teams that are looking for quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Other than like the Raiders. But yeah, I feel like at that position, like if he's available between those two, they'd probably pick up Bo Nix.
Okay. I like that. That's a good answer.
But I want Penix. I hope
Yeah.
they pick Penix. So.
Mikey P. Originally I had Penix going there. Obviously my draft board changed up because I had a change of heart.
Yeah.
But I think with the Penix like pro day stuff that happened this week, I think Penix is gonna end up being a first round pick.
Mm-hmm.
In my mock draft, he's not there just because I went a little weird.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of these teams need a quarterback, and if the draft goes like this, where the first four are what they've been looking like all pretty much off season, then I think Penix will end up being a first rounder, whether it's to you guys or the Raiders.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I'd agree.
So I saw on your draft board, you took Quinion Mitchell first to the Colts.
Mm-hmm.
The first corner off the board.
First corner off the board.
What happened? You always carry on Arnold.
Yeah, I mean, Quinion Mitchell, I think a lot of teams grade him as the best cornerback in this draft. So I feel like when it comes down to the Colts situation, they are in need of another corner. I know they just re-signed Kenny Moore, but he's kind of getting into that late 20s age where, he's gonna need like another partner in crime on the defensive side of the ball. And I feel like getting Quinion Mitchell at this point is a really good turn point for the Colts.
Yeah, I think he's a good second option to have with Juju Brents there.
Yeah.
Do you think the Jets have a top offense with Brock Bowers?
Yeah. Dude, that's scary, man. That's scary. That's gonna look real good for them.
I think they're gonna trade their pick.
Really?
I think so. I've been reading about like them wanting to trade to get a little better. I could see the Raiders just jumping both you guys. Like that would be fucked up. But if they don't, bro, I mean, like, I'm with you. Brock Bowers there would be.
I feel like that's a perfect pick for them because that's really their only spot they need to fill on the offensive side.
Yeah, definitely. I think he'll be a monster there, especially like with the youth of their offense with like Garrett Wilson and Brock Bowers now, and then and Breece Hall too.
Yeah,
like, that's an even when Aaron Rodgers retires, like you could pretty much put any quarterback there, and the Jets are known for their great quarterbacks. You can put anyone back there, and they should have a good year.
Zach Wilson, baby.
Bring back Mark Sanchez.
Mike White.
People were hating on your Zach Wilson hate.
Yeah, man. I mean, just gotta let time tell, I guess.
Huh?
Yeah, everyone has their own takes. I'm pretty strong in my take. I did my research. Apparently, those guys did their research too. So we have our own opinions. So at the end of the day,
responding to the haters,
fuck them. Just gotta watch ball. Just gotta watch ball.
Ass. What did I have next? Okay, Cooper DeJean to the Steelers. I had that pick originally too. I just thought it was kind of weird after drafting Joey Porter so high last year. Yeah. I think Cooper DeJean could kind of play a little bit everywhere, especially like with Minka getting old and stuff. But what was kind of your thought process with putting that pick in? Yeah,
I mean, the Steelers, I feel like they're always looking to add young guys on the defensive side. You got a couple guys that are growing old. I feel like they could have, they could maybe get out a nose tackle because, Cameron Hayward, he's kind of getting there. But Cooper DeJean, For some reason, I just feel like he's like destined to be a Steelers.
He just looks like it, huh?
Dude, yeah. But that's not the whole reason though.
I think because he was in Iowa too, like the colors.
Maybe it's just fits the colors, yeah. Yeah, but no, that's not the reason though. I just saw that just like his play style,
Yeah.
I think he fits pretty well in Pittsburgh. And also, like I know they drafted Joey Porter, but he wasn't like anywhere like electric. And also he had like some injuries as well. So I think just adding another corner onto the other side, plus Cooper DeJean, he could basically play safety, corner. He's a special team returner as well. So that's a lot of options that Pittsburgh could do with him.
I could see him getting moved to the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't doubt it either. They moved Deontay Johnson, so they got George Pickens, Pat Fryermuth over there. I don't really know who's their wide receiver too at the moment, but
Allen
no
Robinson.
one crazy. Yeah, I mean, I think it could be a possibility. Cooper Kupp 2.0.
Cooper DeJean.
That'd be crazy. Imagine someone getting drafted as a corner into the draft, coming in, and then get converted into a receiver, and they just like
in one season.
they just go crazy.
It's Van Jefferson right now. That's the wide receiver.
Van Jefferson, yeah, that's right.
That's sad.
Yeah, so I mean, I feel like that could be interesting. That's something they could definitely do. He's very flexible.
What do you mean by that?
You know what I exactly mean.
And then my last note on your draft board is what, like with the Stephon Diggs thing, how does like Xavier Worthy fit in Buffalo? Because I had him there too originally. Yeah. I just don't think he's a wide receiver one. I don't think that's his mold. I don't think you draft him and he's like your guy, unless they're gonna pick someone up. But what do you think?
Yeah. So actually, I actually didn't even have Xavier Worthy there at first. I actually had before the trade happened. I actually had A.D. Mitchell there because I saw A.D. as a more solidified wide receiver too. I saw Xavier Worthy. I feel like he has more of a higher ceiling.
Whoa.
When it comes to that,
we're on different spectrums.
I know. Yeah, I just feel like he's more like there's more risk. But more risk obviously comes with more reward. And I feel like obviously the 40 caught everyone's eye. And getting Xavier Worthy is a risk that the Bills should take at this time. They don't have a wide receiver one.
Yeah.
I feel like in the end they're gonna try to get Higgins or like Ayuk for a trade. I feel like that's destined because they really need to fill out that spot if they still want to compete and make Josh Allen happy, But yeah, I just have Xavier Worthy there at that time over the other receivers. I just feel like he's like more of a fit.
I think he's like the perfect receiver to have with Josh Allen because he's such a vertical like threat. But as like a receiver, I just don't see the wide receiver like one. I think like as a two, he's like if they saw Diggs, bro, and then you have Worthy running like Gabe Davis routes.
Yeah.
Like it would work out, but I don't really see him as a number one dude.
Yeah.
But hey, only time will tell.
Yeah.
Just something interesting before we go into my picks.
Yeah, I feel like that's like a similar situation to when the Giants drafted John Ross. They drafted him like pretty high. I think the Bills could kind of take that same situation just because the Giants at the time they were looking for like a good receiver too. They took the risk on that. But I feel like it could turn out different for Xavier Worthy.
You think he'll end up being like a? Yeah, I think there's a lot of people saying like, oh, just because he's fast doesn't mean he's good.
Yeah. And I feel like people are kind of like overdoing that,
Yeah, I agree with that because I do think I think that doesn't apply for like every situation, I think he'll be I don't think just cuz he's fast he'll be good. I don't think he's like all that, but I just think he's a wide receiver too, but I'm not going to count him out either.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at your mock draft.
Let's look at it. Let me tell you guys who we have both going in the same spot, though, really quick.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams, we both had going number 1. Rome Odunze, we both had going number 5, which is surprising that you had the Chargers taking Rome. Maybe we'll come back to that. Wait, did I put? Oh, never mind. I fucked up. Okay. Joe Alt, we both had going to the Titans at 7. Brock Bowers to the Jets at 10. Talise Fuaga going to the Raiders at 13. Terrion Arnold at 17 to the Jaguars. Byron Murphy the second going to the Rams at 19. Latu 23 to the Vikings. And then Ennis Rakestraw Jr. going to the Chiefs. Yeah, I mean, really quick then. Why Rome over Neighbors?
Yeah, I mean, kind of talked about this, I think, when we went over the receivers. I just feel like the Chargers, they're looking for a big receiver. And, Herbert, he's dealt with Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, which are 2 guys that are high-point receiver catch guys. And Rome Odunze, he fits exactly in that category. I feel like you shouldn't really go for a receiver that's kind of a different fit because you don't really know how it's going to really turn out.
Okay.
And I feel like in their offense right now, even with Quentin Johnston, they should still look for, that guy that could high point catch because that's what Herbert's been working with his whole professional career. So
that's true. You could give Quentin Johnson one more chance kind of to be a wide receiver too.
Yeah.
Because Rome is going to be that dominant dude. Blake Neighbors could kind of fit in wherever. I think this gives Quentin Johnson more of a second chance taking Rome there.
Yeah, I think it could exactly be Keenan Allen, Mike Williams 2.0 with Rome Odunze and Quentin Johnston, but not I'm not obviously Quentin Johnston, he's not like Mike Williams level.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm saying physique wise.
Okay. I like it. You saved yourself.
you were about to just
I was about to get
blow
your ass.
up, huh?
I was about to come for that ass.
Yeah, nah, come on. Yeah.
Oh, all right, we could pivot. We could talk about my draft.
Yeah, man.
What do you like? What do you not like?
Yeah, man. I mean, first things first, I see J.J. McCarthy going number 2 over here. That's you got Zach Wilson going number 2? Tell me about that.
I just feel like it's going to happen. There's a lot of rumors about it happening.
Uh-huh.
I don't like it. I wouldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
But it makes the draft kind of funnel out a little weird.
Yeah.
But I just think they're going to do it. I feel like ever since the national championship, there's been so much talk about what J.J. McCarthy can be in the NFL. I feel like fans maybe aren't as high on him. I'm not as high on him, but I think the Commanders are this is our guy.
They've kind of fallen in love with him a little bit, huh?
Yeah, I think so. They found him. They found the one.
they found the gem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, definitely seen some reports on that as well. So yeah, I mean that's what kind of caught my eye, as well as the next pick, Marvin Harrison going number 3. Tell me a little bit more, how you kind of got there instead of getting someone like Jaden Daniels.
This is my thought process, right? And
I feel like if this pick happens, then the whole draft is just
shakes. Shake the
this
room,
is
pop smoke.
Yeah, this is earthquake.
And as you can see on my board, it's pulled up for you guys. This shakes the draft because now you see 11 and 12th pick being some quarterbacks that should be a lot higher.
Yeah.
But my Marvin Harrison thing is you saw what happened with the Panthers last year. They draft Bryce Young. You just make him look ugly, When you have a player like Marvin Harrison on the board, I don't care who's on the board. You take Marvin Harrison Jr. And when you kind of look at the tiers of the guys left, Jaden Daniels, Drake May are in a tier lower than what I would put Marvin Harrison in as players, as physical players.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have Marvin Harrison there, he could have one bad year, and then you just draft a quarterback next year, or you sign a quarterback. But I think Marvin Harrison is more of a once-in-a-lifetime, once-in-a-generation player than maybe a Jaden Daniels, than maybe a Drake May.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I agree, honestly. Marvin Harrison is just that guy that just, you shouldn't pass up on.
He, to me, is the most sure thing in this draft.
Mm-hmm.
There's questions about Caleb Williams. There's questions about Drake May. There's questions about Jaden Daniels. There's definitely questions about J.J. McCarthy. I don't think there's questions about Marvin Harrison. We know what Marvin Harrison, if he gets drafted to a situation not the Patriots, he could go out there and get 1,400, 1,300 yards next year.
Yeah.
And I think the Patriots would be dumb to not take advantage of a generational talent in a draft.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, the Patriots didn't really have like a. It's been a while since they've had like a wide receiver one like
Have
that.
they had a wide receiver one since Randy Moss, bro?
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's been a while, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. Julian Edelman, Danny Amendola.
Anyone else?
It's really just been like Gronk. He's been like wide receiver one, but he's easily a freaking tight end.
Uh-huh.
So you're honestly right. It's probably since been like Randy Moss. That's crazy. Demario Douglas. Kendrick Bourne.
Yeah, and I also feel like when you list their receivers like that, like Bailey Zappi and Mac Jones. I mean, they don't have Mac Jones anymore, but Bailey Zappi fucking sucks.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not Kendrick Bourne bad. He's not like these other dudes are. I feel like the receiver is more of a position of need when you don't want to kind of rush the quarterback. Even though, again, like I said on our quarterback episode, I think Drake May's the best quarterback in the draft. But at the same time, Marvin Harrison's probably the best player in the draft. So
yeah.
You take what you could get.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'd agree. Maybe they let the quarterback sit for a little bit longer.
You just go next year. Get Shador.
Yeah, Shador Sanders.
Shador. Open Shador.
Yeah, I mean, dude, yeah. If this lands, I think it really shakes it. I mean, I see you got Malik Neighbors going next, and then Brian Thomas. I guess I'll touch upon a little bit. Obviously, the Giants, they would probably look to take a receiver because they're just in that situation where it's just like probably just take a weapon.
They need weapons, bro. Desperately.
Yeah. It's just funny, if that actually happens, because Brian Thomas, there's a lot more other talent in this draft that I feel like, a lot more players that I think are more valuable than Brian Thomas when it comes to generality.
Really?
Yeah, but the Giants are in a position where they have to take a receiver, and Brian Thomas in the situation would be the next best receiver.
Okay, I thought you were saying there's better receivers. I was not but yeah, no, definitely, especially on the defensive side. I could definitely see them taking Brock Bowers here too. They paid Waller, but they'd probably have to move him.
Yeah.
But Brock Bowers is a weapon, surefire weapon. Brian Thomas might still have questions.
Yeah. I mean, you think the Giants could potentially take a quarterback? Just because they know Daniel Jones is fucked,
From what I'm hearing, bro, it's kind of looking like that.
It's a possibility, I feel like.
You don't think that's a bad look, though, if they draft a quarterback? It just feels like you draft a quarterback for what? For Wan'Dale Robinson? I think as bad as Daniel Jones is, I also feel like he hasn't had a really fair chance yet.
Mm-hmm. You
know what I mean? Who does he have? Who is his receivers, bro? Any other player has receivers as shitty, they get all the excuses in the world. But I'm not trying to be a Daniel Jones defender here by any means. But if Wan'Dale, bro, Kadarius Toney, those are your career receivers.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's true. I could maybe give Daniel Jones another chance.
Last ride,
but I think his last ride's been been a couple rides ago, But yeah, maybe. I mean, if I were the Giants, I would just totally give up on Daniel Jones.
You would draft a quarterback?
I would draft a quarterback, yeah. Because,
Okay, so in your situation, you took Malik Neighbors, right?
Yeah.
If Malik, let's say.
If he was still there?
Yeah. Would you have taken Malik Neighbors, or would you take. This is you, not a mock draft.
Yeah.
You're the Giants GM. You're Brian Dable.
See, I feel like the margin between Neighbors and Brian Thomas is kind of far. I don't know.
I agree with you there.
Yeah, so I really like Neighbors, so I'd probably take Neighbors.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then Brian Thomas is there.
Mm-hmm.
Jaden Daniels, Drake May are still on the board. You're taking one of them.
They're still on the board. I really like Jaden Daniels.
What if it's just JJ?
Just JJ? Oh, neighbors.
No, I'm saying, would you take JJ or Brian Thomas if you're the Giants?
Like JJ McCarthy?
Yeah.
Or Brian Thomas? Brian Thomas, probably.
Okay.
Yeah. Can't take Zach Wilson.
No. Zach Wilson in New York?
Again? Yeah.
More
I mean,
mamas?
in that case, like, I would give Danny Jones another chance, you know.
Okay.
Let's see. And then you got Jaden Daniels going to the Vikings. I feel like that's kind of where it should be at if the draft goes down that way. Drake May coming to the country.
Coming to the country?
Dude, I love it, man. Why do you think he falls that low, though?
It's such, like, if the Giants don't take him, like, I don't think the Falcons would take him. I don't think the Bears would take him. I think if this situation were to happen, bro, teams would be itching to trade up. Like, if Marvin Harrison went third, JJ went second, and now Jaden Daniels and Drake May, like, they're obviously not going to get drafted to the Chargers.
Yeah.
Maybe one of them goes to the Giants.
Yeah.
But teams would be itching to trade up.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, if I were the Raiders, I would throw in everything, bro.
Because I heard the Bears might want to trade their pick. Like the Falcons, I feel like don't really need their pick anymore because they got Kirk. But I have them taking Quinion. Yeah, I think it just kind of makes sense. I think Jaden Daniels has like the swag the Vikings have, like with Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and now you got Jaden Daniels there. It kind of all like meshes well, makes sense.
Yeah, same color too. You're basically sticking with the same colors. So.
The perp.
Yeah.
And then Drake May again, country.
Yeah, man. Dude, I love it, man.
Yeah.
You know, that's that Herbert Allen hybrid right there. So I'll take that all day, every day.
You're goat. That's why I did it. I did it for you. I do it for the people.
Did it for me, man.
I do it for the people.
Man. Yeah, I mean, other than that, I saw you put Roman Wilson on here. That's one guy that I actually didn't have going in the first round. And I think I kind of remember you kind of talking high on him.
I like him. I'm definitely a fan of him. I think a lot of J.J. McCarthy's success, like my whole thing is like if everyone's so high on J.J., like you got to be kind of high on Roman Wilson too. Yeah. Because Roman Wilson's been really good. I'm trying to see where I had him drafted though. Yeah. Cowboys. Yeah. Oh. That gives me my take. The Cowboys need there's definitely positional needs, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys reach heavy here and take a running back, because that's kind of what a lot of the hype is right now. Like they need Jonathan Brooks. Yeah. But I think the Cowboys love drafting those players that will get their fans talking, and I think Roman Wilson has the tape to do that. And then when you look at the receivers, like Brandon Cooks is getting old, so you just have CeeDee Lamb. You give Dak, CeeDee Lamb, and a Roman Wilson on both sides, bro. Like that's flame. Xavier Worthy would be really good here though too, as a wide receiver too. Yeah. Or again, like I'm not against them drafting Jonathan Brooks.
Yeah, I mean, for my draft, I had them taking a lineman. I just found that more valuable. They got Tyron Smith leaving, and also Tyler Smith. It's like two of them. It's like basically like almost the same name. But yeah, the other guy, the younger one, I don't think he's gonna re-sign or extend. So I think getting a lineman in this situation is probably the more like beneficial need. But honestly, like getting another receiver though, like just having it lined up on both sides is honestly a good idea too when it comes to like more weapons added on the offense.
Yeah, I'm really happy with that one.
I just feel like they had a position to need just because of Tyron Smith leaving.
I'm kind of realizing right now that I forgot to put Dallas Turner in the first round.
What?
I think I forgot to put Dallas Turner in my first round. That's not happening. That's a mistake by me. Yeah, I'm going to fix that. Sorry for the people at home, but Dallas Turner is definitely going to be a first-round pick. I'm sorry.
Bro, yeah, you didn't have the top 10. You didn't have the top 10 prospect and go in the first round?
Hey, that's fine. If I had to place Dallas Turner somewhere in here, I'd probably put him.
I had him going to the Falcons.
I like Quinion there a little more. I just think they have a lot of like old D linemen. So I mean, I get it, but I just think he's kind of more like Quinion and Terrell would be locked down.
Yeah, I know that'd be a crazy duo.
Maybe to the Rams. I know we both have Byron Murphy, so maybe I don't want to mess that up.
Yeah.
Or the Seahawks because they just lost Leonard Williams.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
that's on me.
Yeah, I mean it's okay. Before this, I had Jared Verse going to 2 teams, so
Yeah.
I think that just shows like how much like analysis we did on this.
Yeah.
Like it's just like we were just going back and forth on these sheets, or we just happened to like have like a mistake. But you know, it happens.
It happens. Yeah. At first, I had Jared Burse.
Burse?
I put a B. Big B.
Dude, yeah, we were too locked in.
You actually put me on Graham Barton. I saw you put his name down, and I was like, I never heard of that dude, so I looked him up.
Yeah.
So I put Graham Barton on my draft.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he's a top lineman.
Yeah.
You know, I think he's obviously he's not like Joe Alt, but he's one of those like I probably put him in that 1B like 2 tier when it comes to linemen. He's the next guy, and he fits exactly where I put him honestly in the Cowboys at the tackle position. So.
Mr. Barton.
Yeah, I actually had a lot of linemen going in the first round because I feel like that's like honestly a lot of these teams' needs is linemen. So you know, I didn't have guys like you had Roman Wilson, Troy Franklin, and then I saw you put Kamari Lassiter.
Yeah. Kamari Lassiter.
Yeah, Lassiter. I got mixed up with his last name. What do you think about him? Do you think he's just like the next cornerback at that time that they should just take?
Yeah, I like him over Ennis Rakestraw. I think he's a good corner.
Yeah.
I don't really have a crazy take on him. I just think the Lions kind of need a cornerback too. You put Nate Wiggins there. I put Kamari. I had Nate Wiggins going a little earlier to the Packers just because I think like with what they have there with who are the two? Valentine and Stokes. Those are good corners, but like they're not like a real cornerback too. I think Nate Wiggins could slide in there and be a real cornerback too right away.
Okay.
Again though, the Lions lost C.J. Gardner Johnson, so having Kamari Lassiter will be good. I don't really feel too up on him, but I just think he's a good fit.
Okay. Cool.
I had Xavier Worthy going to the Niners. I think that's like a fun spot for him.
Yeah, that was another thing I wanted to touch up on. I mean, I guess it's the Ayuk rumors, right?
Yeah, if they lose Ayuk, I think it gives them more space to kind of figure out what they want to do with Ayuk. You don't necessarily – I mean, Ayuk's a lot better than X, but you don't necessarily, like, need to replace it right away if you draft Xavier Worthy.
Yeah.
You know? And then, like, I think he gives you a new fun toy in this offense. Like, they definitely could play with him. They'll send him on Jawan Jennings routes.
Jawan Jennings, Super Bowl MVP.
Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
I like my Troy Franklin pick a lot. I like him over Xavier Worthy.
Yeah.
Troy Franklin had 8 games this season with 100-plus yards. So I think he fits that like wide receiver 1 mold a little more. And then also like when you look at the receivers in this class, like they're so stacked. I feel like it makes players like Roman Wilson, like Troy Franklin, look a lot worse than what they are. Like I think in any other draft, Troy Franklin's probably a top 20 pick.
Dude, yeah, this is a really good receiver class.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. I guess one last thing I would touch upon is the Eagles pick. So you have Edgerrin Cooper as a selection. I had Kool-Aid. Why do you think they take like a linebacker instead of a defensive back?
When I was looking at their team, obviously their whole defense is weak. But their linebacker core is especially weak. Let me pull it up because I couldn't tell you these dudes by name. But yeah, they just have a lot of old dudes at every spot on this defense, and then their linebacker core is.
I know they got like N'Kobe Dean over there
and Bryce Huff.
Bryce Huff.
Bryce Huff was their newest guy, but I just
think isn't he a nose tackle?
Maybe I don't know. I'm just looking at the depth chart.
Yeah.
Their nose tackle right now is Jordan Davis, actually. So I don't think USF will take that. But I think they just need kind of more of a quicker dude that could, like, play, like, a real inside linebacker position. Their other dude's Devin White, who's got to be, like, 40 now, right?
Devin White? I think.
Oh, shit. Devin White's a youngin'.
I think he still got it in him a little bit.
My bad. But, yeah,
I think, I do think that would be a good pair up, though, having Edgerrin Cooper on that linebacker core with Devin White and Nakobe Dean. I think that's a pretty solid linebacker trio, actually.
You just add more, you get a little deeper, you get a little stronger.
Yeah.
You get younger, and I think that's what they need to do. I feel like the corners, you could kind of wait one more year. Like, you could get a guy next year. But as far as, like, linebackers, like, you might as well just, like, start building that up. Like, I feel like the linebacker core is really important to a good defense.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for me, what I kind of took into perspective of it is I had them taking Kool-Aid, defensive back. You had James Bradbury and Darius Slade that had both mid-seasons last year. I have a feeling they trade one of them soon. I mean, we already saw them move Hassan Reddick, who's 30 years old.
That was part of it, too. Because I saw they moved him, and I think that's when I was doing this.
Yeah, so I feel like, the Eagles, I don't think they're done when it comes to offseason moves. I feel like they could get rid of one of those two and add Kool-Aid onto the other side. I think that would be a solid, like, rookie cornerback. Maybe they keep Slade, they move Bradbury, have Slade kind of like mentor Kool-Aid. I think that'd be a great mentor when it comes to that.
Another thing, though, with my draft is Kool-Aid, Terrion Arnold, Cooper DeJean, Quinion Mitchell. We're all kind of off the board at this point, too. So I feel like drafting, like, a Nate Wiggins, not necessarily would be, like, a crazy reach, but I think I'd rather get the best linebacker in the class than get, like, a third-tier corner.
Yeah. No, I'd agree. It's like, as soon as I'm done, I have, like, another thing to talk about. So, I just realized right now, you had A.D. Mitchell pretty high as, like, the next best receiver, right?
Yeah, I think he's good, bro.
You think he's good?
I think he's good.
Okay.
I have him going high. I have him going 14 to the Saints. I feel like when you look at the Saints, like, there's nothing really exciting on the offense at all. Even Olave, like, isn't as fun as he was. You know what I mean? Like, there's not a lot of, like, we kind of know what Olave is. He probably has, like, maybe a little bit higher of a ceiling. But we kind of know what he is now. I think if you draft A.D. Mitchell, you could finally, like, move on from Michael Thomas. And now you got A.D. and Olave. I feel like with a duo like that, it's pretty exciting. I know you have an O-lineman there, but, like, would you be opposed to taking a receiver there for the Saints?
I wouldn't be opposed to it, honestly, just because, like, how stacked this class is. I feel like now in the league, it's so common, and it seems like to be, like, a necessity where teams should have, like, at least a duo, like a solid duo of receivers.
You have to. You can't have one dude anymore.
Yeah, it's not like that anymore. So I feel like, getting another receiver at this time, although, like, I wouldn't really put A.D. Mitchell that high. I feel like getting someone else, I think that'd be a solid pickup.
With the way my board looks, who would you take there? So Brian Thomas, Rome, Malik Neighbors, Marvin Harrison are the receivers off the board.
I would take Roman.
Roman Wilson?
Yeah, I would take Roman Wilson. Let me just look at the receivers.
Xavier Worthy?
I would take Worthy. I like Worthy more than A.D.
So is Worthy?
I feel like A.D. just seems like a wide receiver too to me.
Is Worthy?
But then again, like, they have Olave, so A.D. could fit in the Saints, like, play style. So
is Worthy your wide receiver 5?
I
mean, I know that's how it looks on the draft, but would you rank him as number 5?
I would probably rank him like maybe like 6.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe like right outside the top 5.
Okay.
So I know I had a couple guys that I liked, like, sleeper wise. I don't know if they're as good as, like, Xavier Worthy, but I feel like he roams around that 5-7 range, I would say.
Okay.
So,
yeah. Any last thoughts?
Final
word?
No, not really. I mean, I see you got Cooper DeJean going to Bengals, going to Cincinnati.
I can see him a Bengal.
Yeah. I feel like they need some secondary help, so.
And he kind of helps everywhere.
So.
Yeah.
That's about it, though.
That's it for the hot seat. Episode like 50. Not 50.
50?
No,
we were just like 34, 35 last week.
I think 35. I think we're on episode 35. Thank you guys for listening. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow. Will, say your line.
Run the play.